Geekazine's special coverage of HP Discover 2011 is brought to you by Iolo System Mechanic. Go over and use the code Geekazine for up to 50% off System Mechanic 10. And Wirecast. Produce all your video straight from your computer right to the internet with Wirecast. Go over to geekazine.com and click on the link. Of course, Geekazine is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network over at techpodcast.com. If it's tech, then it's here.
Standard servers and software at HP, Mark Potter.
As you can tell by the screen, we've got more exciting demonstrations for you, so hang in there with us. You know, we talked about already how we're leading with converged storage and how we're thinking differently about converged systems. What I'm going to take you through is what we're really doing around converging facilities with IT and thinking different about the data center. The CIO has many challenges, as Jan talked about, as we talked about the massive amount of growth of data. They're faced with needing more agility and doing that at a much faster pace. Business cycles are much more demanding today. And as a matter of fact, if you just think about the economic climate we're in, business cycles are also a whole lot more unpredictable in today's environment. We've really taken a step back in the whole data center space. And 5 years ago, we launched containerized data centers. We called them performance optimized data centers. We were able to deliver a data center with lower cost, better energy efficiency, and much faster than a traditional brick and mortar data center. And over the years, we've really built on that intellectual property and innovated in that area until last year we introduced the brand new modular performance optimized data centers. We've been able to launch and deploy those modular next generation data centers now across many different industries and around the world. So you see aerospace, telecommunications, manufacturing, cloud data centers. And last fall, we were able to actually tie that set of modular performance optimized data centers to a whole new factory process, PodWorks. We're able to build 14,000 servers simultaneous in our factory and ship them in a matter of weeks to customers that really are moving at the scale and speed of the cloud. In the fall, as an example, we shipped over 40,000 servers in 9 weeks in 22 of our next generation pods to help Microsoft with their growing cloud and web businesses. It was unprecedented. And PodWorks integrated it all, tested it, certified it, and delivered it completely turnkey. And if you think about the amount of intellectual property HP has, 43 million square feet of the most modern data center being built today is all HP's designs. So a lot of capability here. But the next evolution really is needed. Let's take a look at why. You've seen today from the Vertica converged system demo from Jan, his 60-second snapshot, the amount of data is just growing. Hundreds of millions of new users accessing, billions of new devices, hundreds of exabytes of data crossing the network, and dramatic growth in the amount of storage and needing access to that storage. We have a data center capacity crisis. Data centers are expected, and the capacity needed are expected to almost double over the next few years. And we really have to think differently about how we solve that crisis. But it's not just about delivering data center capacity. There's also a very, very important energy and environmental component here. Because data centers take a tremendous amount of energy. As a matter of fact, in the US alone, 2.5% of the entire energy usage is for data centers. And governments more and more around the world are going to be mandating much more stringent energy efficiency requirements around data centers. And so you have to take a step back and think about the traditional monolithic data center of yesterday really aren't going to be enough to solve this capacity crisis and solve it in a way that is the right way for the environment and do it in a cost-efficient, energy-efficient way to put the best data center out there and free up capital for innovation. Traditional data centers, slow to deploy. About 24 months for a traditional brick and mortar data center. A lot of oversight, regulation, construction process, and then the IT in the data center gets integrated at the very, very end, taking more time.
Okay.
Too
Just
costly.
the mic, not the stands, right?
The building cost of this is a small data center, a 1.2 megawatt tier 3 data center, about 33 million US dollars, or a little over 22 million euros. Very, very expensive. And finally, what I was telling you about a little bit earlier is way too energy efficient. The average data center energy efficiency, according to IDC, is measured in the order called power usage effectiveness. It's called PUE. And the average data center's PUE is 2.4. And what that means is for every 2.4 watts that enter the data center as energy from the power grid, only 1 watt is actually used to generate IT work. So 2.4 enter the data center, 1 watt actually generates work. That's a tremendous amount of waste. And the facilities bill at 10 cents a kilowatt hour just to run a 1.2 megawatt data center, which is relatively small, 1.5 million US dollars. Significant operational cash needing to be spent every year just to operate a relatively small data center. We think at HP, with our heritage, with our patents, and with our know-how from data center design, we think there's a better way. And so today, I'm very, very pleased to introduce to you what we think is the future of data centers. Today, HP is unveiling the new HP Pod 240A. It's the world's most efficient data center that can be deployed faster than any traditional brick and mortar data center in just 12 weeks. It can be deployed at a quarter of the cost and with near perfect energy efficiency. We affectionately call it the EcoPod, and I'll tell you, it has earned that name. The EcoPod is ideal for building new data centers, adding capacity to existing data centers, or even disaster recovery sites. It's a tier 1 through 3 capable data center, and it delivers maximum density and no compromise approach to serviceability and availability. Now what I want to talk to you about is I'm standing in really the shared service aisle. This is a no compromise 8-foot serviceability that allows me complete access to 2 full rows of the data center. I can access the power, the cooling, the network of thousands of servers, 44 complete racks. It's got power distribution and cooling built in. As a matter of fact, from a power and cooling perspective, this data center has a capacity of up to 44 kilowatts for every single rack. That's 7 times more capacity in power and cooling than a traditional data center. And its peak capacity can go all the way up to the high 60s in kilowatts to deliver during the most demanding times. It's got integrated IT and facilities built in. It's got leading capacity of up to 2, leading capacity of the management with the integrated environmental control system built in, and it has adaptive HP cooling technology. That adaptive HP cooling technology can deliver near perfect PUE of 1.05. Remember I said 2.4? Inside the data center are 2 rows of industry standard racks filled with up to 2,200 U of converged infrastructure. We can build it with whatever the customer wants. If they fit it in a standard data rack, it'll work in the HP EcoPod. This is different from many others out there taking a proprietary approach. 4,400 servers can be accommodated. So this is equivalent to a 10,000 square foot data center in just 900 square feet. And with our EcoPod, PodWorks, our Factory Express integration, HP will integrate it all, rigorously test it, the facilities together, and deliver the entire solution turnkey. Next up, I want to talk about the cooling. HP has thousands of patents in power and cooling. We took this know-how and with a close partnership with HP Labs, we developed significant new innovations in power and cooling architectures. It makes this EcoPod near perfect energy efficient data center. Our adaptive cooling intelligently adjusts the power and the cooling based on operational and users set points to deliver the most efficient cooling always. Wherever you are in the world, regardless of the IT load, regardless of the time of day or season, our customers will automatically get the best energy efficiency without ever having to lift a finger. The new EcoPod is the world's most efficient data center. It can be deployed 88% faster at a quarter of the cost, and it is up to 95% more energy efficient. And you know what? The EcoPod is only from HP. Now, as you can tell, the EcoPod's really breakthrough technology. Its breakthrough technology allows us to go lightning fast deploy, and we're going to unveil a real life-size mock-up of this EcoPod tonight, and you're all invited to join us on the show floor to see what this is in action and enjoy a slice of the real EcoPod. Now let's spend a little bit more time on the unique innovations and look closer. First, it starts with faster deployment. 3 months versus 2 years. All you have to do is add network and power. And as you can see here is an actual customer deployed EcoPod versus a traditional brick and mortar data center. 3 months complete with IT integrated versus at least in the minimum 24 months of a traditional data center.
Excuse me.
And you get that at dramatically lower costs. $33 million for the traditional data center for a 1.2 megawatt versus 8.5 for HP EcoPod. Let's also look at all the different costs here to show you that everything on the left is already built in. The electrical, mechanical, security, fire, cabling, all management built in and ready to link into any building management infrastructure. And finally, what I want to do is look at the breakthrough energy efficiency. Remember I said that the traditional data center, $1.54 million of energy usage just to run the facilities every year. The HP EcoPod, same exact capability, $55,000 a year. That's 95% annual energy savings. A near perfect PUE. This is unprecedented, and only HP can bring this all together. So let's take a little bit closer look at what's really inside and how the EcoPod operates. The EcoPod, with our adaptive cooling technology built in and our management, always monitors the inlet temperatures. It's always monitoring the IT gear and the workloads inside. We're able to detect changes in temperature, changes in workload, and mix free air with the air from the outside, free air from the outside with assisted air where we've cooled it. And we constantly optimize the solution, regardless of where you are in the world. As a matter of fact, even in Houston, in August, in the high 90s, this data center is up to 75% more energy efficient than a traditional data center, ready for deployment anywhere around the world. The EcoPod really joins a complete family of data center offerings. And I'm pleased to say that, with our ability to deploy this lightning fast, with our quarter of the cost to our customers, and the near perfect energy efficiency, it really is the right solution to solve this data center capacity crisis that's out there. But it doesn't just stop from our innovations around the EcoPod. We also surround it completely with our critical facility services. We're able to go in and do complete site integration and assessment and engineering. We can do turnkey installations, and with our PodWorks factory and the fact that we're behind 43 million square feet of the most modern data centers being designed and deployed, we're the only ones with the expertise to bring it all together. So we're excited, obviously, about what the EcoPod is going to bring and how it's going to allow our customers to move at the speed of cloud and deal with this data center capacity in the most energy efficient way with these breakthrough innovations. And we're excited about the new converged storage solutions we told you all about today and our new converged solutions. And I'd like to thank all of you from around the world for joining us on the web. And at this time, this was going to formally conclude our webcast.